General Kenobi. Why do you take the microphone if you're not going to say anything?
I'm nervous.
We've done this like 30 times.
It's like a 50th, I think.
We've done this like many times, so. General Kenobi.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Matthew?
Chilling?
You excited to discuss today's film?
No.
Okay.
What? Never mind. Oh, we're talking about
Women.
Alex Garland's new film, Men.
Transgender.
I did make a lot of jokes about that.
Yeah, the sequel, Women, the third.
Trans, and then like
Fourth.
6 films called like Undefined.
Non-binary. Men, yeah, new release just came out last week.
I only knew this movie was coming out like 2 months ago.
Yeah, like it was like I saw the first trailer and it was like last month. I hadn't heard of it before that. So
First trailer was good.
do you like Alex Garland's work? I know you haven't seen Ex Machina, but you've seen.
I've seen Annihilation, and he did some TV show I think called Devs, which I haven't seen, but I heard it's pretty good.
I've seen both. I've seen his 2 previous films, and they're both pretty good. I really liked Annihilation.
Did you like Annihilation better than the robot one?
Yeah,
Usually people say the opposite. So
it's close though. I like them both. I think they were both really well done. So, and then now there's this one, which is
well, wasn't it? Annihilation was based off a book. Was Ex Machina based off a book?
I think so actually, but I'm not sure.
That explains why this one was so bad in comparison. Spoilers. This movie was not very good.
No.
It was very mid. And it's like script. Because like the script is just so empty. And
Yeah.
it's like that one Letterboxd review where it's just like, we get it, all men are bad, all men are the same, all men are the same, all men are the same. Do you get it? Men are all the same. Do you get it? Men are all the same. Do you get it?
All men are the same. All men are the same. All men are the same.
It has like a good like lesson, I guess, or like not lesson. I guess like it has an interesting like concept, but they just like hit you over the head with it so much, and it has nothing else to say.
Well, yeah, I think it has a lot.
Maybe I need a second viewing because I don't know. Just on first viewing, it was a very jarring and like disjointed experience.
Yeah, that is true. It does suffer from that, and I think it has a lot to say. But like, it has one thing that's very loud, like you're saying, and it kind of just drowns out anything else it's trying to say, which kind of hurts its message in the end.
And at the end, it's just trying to be like grotesque and push the envelope, and then it just kind of ends.
Yeah. Really odd ending, which I like ambiguous open endings, but this it just felt kind of empty. So
The script felt very rushed.
yeah, I'd say so.
The ending was very,
I think,
not the ending. The beginning was it was probably the worst part because it just kind of went on in a lot of points of her just like wandering around and like showing her friend like the tour. It's just like whatever.
I really liked the build up. I really liked a lot of that in the beginning. Her like when she was first walking around in the woods and she found that tunnel. That scene was really good. It was really atmospheric. I really enjoyed a lot of that. The sound design is good throughout the entire film. It has really good sound. The score is overall pleasant, and I definitely enjoyed it. And plus, the visuals, at least the cinematography, was really well handled. It had a lot of really good looking, striking shots that I really liked. It kind of going toward the end. It all just kind of melds for me, and it's all just kind of not necessarily worse, but it just kind of like starts to settle as it goes for like head into its message. So it's kind of weird. I guess we can get into that, but
Some of the effects too on the digitally depositing that guy's face on all the other bodies. Some of it looked kind of off.
yeah,
Especially the kid.
which could have been the intention, but it was off-putting in the back. Like it wasn't.
It was off-putting in the point where I think they just couldn't do it entirely.
Yeah, it
correct.
wasn't off-putting in a weird way. It was off-putting in like that doesn't.
Also, what was up? Because there was that one woman police officer and like the people that didn't look like him. Where did they go?
No idea. All I know is that all the men in the town were the same guy's face.
Yeah.
Even the little kid who's like young.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point? It's really weird. Stupid bitch.
The guy she got the house from, I guess he had some good delivery. The housekeeper.
Yeah.
I don't remember what his name was.
Overall, I like Rory Kinnear. I like what he did because he had to portray a wide range. He had to be a lot of different characters at once.
Yeah.
And I think he did a good job in that. It is kind of unsettling. Like,
it's very unsettling.
I mean, it's unsettling, which I think was good because that was the intent. But it's kind of off-putting the way it was handled. It's so like in your face. I don't know. He was also completely naked for a while.
There's a lot of penises in this movie and vaginas. Which...
That's what Sean liked.
We got a special guest in here today, not Tommy.
Fully.
Take over. This man doesn't say racial slurs in the middle of a recording.
Exactly.
Tommy doesn't watch these, but...
Annihilation. Really enjoyed Annihilation.
I really enjoyed Annihilation. I haven't watched it in forever. Have you seen Annihilation, Sean? Probably haven't.
Probably.
This is like when you were dating Jasmine. No, this is before.
I probably didn't see Annihilation.
The bear.
Don't you know I had no life?
It was 2018, so
Yep.
I think.
That was
Natalie Portman.
I mean, she's Thor.
really.
But
now Alex Garland has his own little kind of trilogy-ish between Ex Machina and Annihilation.
Definitely the dud out of the three, it sounds like. At least reception-wise.
Yeah, so far. It's really weird. It's so hard. It's such a hard movie to talk about. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed what it was doing and what it was leading up to. And I could see where a lot of the praise was coming from. And like I said, like reaching that ending point and like how they really ended it, and like you said, especially the script, like it just kind of tails off. And
It felt like one of those movies where the person was trying to be so smart about what they were saying, and they were focusing so hard on being smart, it just ended up being dumb.
Well, when there was subtlety to it, it was well done, but then it just kind of seemed pretentious at the end. Like it was just like...
Yeah, and the director seems kind of like he likes doing that stuff that like pushes the bar and stuff, so it seems like he's a little pretentious himself, which is Jordan Peele too. Yeah, which isn't a bad thing, but I think he probably could have been a little bit more self-aware and be self-serious.
I think if it would have been dialed back a little bit, and I like the ambiguity, but if it could have been a little bit more concrete, because...
It's like, ambiguity's good, but like I need like something.
Because there's nothing to latch onto except for the one message that is so overbearing that it just kind of... It makes the rest of it suffer.
Her husband's suicide.
Yeah.
Which, like, the flashbacks were nice. I thought they were done well.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Even though the guy just seemed like... They didn't, like, show any of the relationship beforehand and, like, why she even wanted to divorce him. He just seemed like kind of a asshole.
Yeah, he just seemed extremely manipulative.
And the whole movie, they were just trying to make her feel bad for causing her husband's death when he was just kind of like a piece of shit that did that on his own accord. Then they have that strange plot thing where they're like, maybe he was just trying to get back down to the balcony, or maybe he slipped, or he did kill himself.
I guess in her mind, she was saying that.
Which he probably just killed himself.
That he either slipped or just killed himself, but that's probably just her trying to reason through it. Because like she agreed, like when she's talking to that vicar, that guy. Obviously, we didn't really get names of people, but the guy, Rory Kinnear, he what he was saying, like, she definitely was, like, understanding and agreeing with until it went a certain direction. But, like, how she's still trying to reason through it, and that's a big point of, like, what's, like, actually going on with her. So, I don't know. That's really weird.
Yeah, it wasn't a great day movie. Allie was very excited before we got to the theater because she remembered the trailer.
Yeah.
And she was very confused. I gave it like a 5 out of 10 because at initial viewing, because I just didn't know what to think of it. So,
well, it
has a lot of good stuff, but then like it's just like as a movie, it fails on like some pretty big like fronts that it's hard for me to like give it too much credit to, like where people are giving it like 4-star reviews.
Yeah.
It's just like I couldn't give it 4 just for having like a good idea.
Well, it's so weird because that idea is good, and
it's concrete, babe.
Okay. And a lot of that, like, execution, like I was saying, like the way that it's brought about, I was getting really into it. Like I said, with that walk scene, and then like when she's kind of being stalked, I thought it was all really well handled.
The stalking stuff was really good, and then like she took the picture and
Because
stuff, and the guy was in the photo.
The angles were really well done. The sound design was incredible. All of that I thought was pretty great. And
Which I thought that was gonna be from the get go.
yeah, and then Buckley's performance was really good. She.
Oh, that's the main girl.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen her in stuff before. I don't remember what.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know she's in like mostly TV. This is one of her first. I think this is her first starring role. I'm pretty sure. But she handles it pretty well. She did bring some passion.
Oh yeah, one quick thing on Rotten Tomatoes, it says like a 75%, but the audience reviews are 42.
Yeah, which makes sense. This is a movie that
It's more for the critics.
That, like, some critics will say is good, and then like it may go over the head of some people. But really, like it is odd. Like it's kind of
Holy shit.
It'd be really tough to resonate with people when it's so wacky.
Top Gun Maverick has a 97 from critics and a 99 from audiences.
Oh, okay.
The Bob's Burgers movie
How
has
long is it? Does it say the runtime?
2 hours and 11 minutes.
Jesus.
The Bob's Burgers movie, which is only an hour and 42, is a 91%.
91%?
Yeah.
That's gonna have to go down when it comes out, right? Like that's ridiculous.
It's 47 reviews.
Who cares about the Bob's Burgers movie? Sean? Yeah, exactly.
It's PG-13.
Men currently has a 65 Metascore.
I got like a D, I think, from some site.
One of the higher ones. The fact that the outcome is wide open to different interpretations makes Men a more ambiguous work than Garland's sci-fi horror hybrids Ex Machina and Annihilation. It's also more menacing and viscerally creepy.
Menacing.
And it is very viscerally creepy. There were a lot of scenes that I really enjoyed, and then when it started to boil down toward the climax, I was still enjoying it, but then the climax itself was so underwhelming, and it felt really sloppy.
That scene with the hand in the door was pretty good.
That was cool. I did like that. And then
mimic the husband's like wounds.
Yeah.
And then the birth scene, I was like,
yeah,
I get it's like a rebirth thing because that's what the Green Man I guess represents.
Yeah,
and
I guess
it was like meant to. I get that like it had meaning in the story. It just felt so gratuitous and unnecessary. Also, this main girl from this movie was also a Doolittle from last year or 2 years ago.
Oh,
well, she was in Fargo. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I'd seen her in like something else.
Which once we get to that scene where she cuts the hand open, the arm all the way through, and then she goes into the kitchen, and then then there's like the kid. So then we notice that the wound is still there. That's when I noticed. I was like, okay, so then they're probably gonna go into something where all the men are actually the same entity. So is it if it's like a demon or whatever exactly they're trying to get at with?
Yeah, but then there's scenes where like there's multiple of the people in the same room, and it's all the same. No, before that, like at the pub and stuff.
Well, yeah, but
so what's up with that?
If it's I mean.
And then what's up with the dandelion thing? She went on like a drug trip or something. Just a dandelion.
It's really confusing. There's so
and like the apples thing, and he said not to eat that. I was like, what was the apples drugged or something? She just seeing shit the whole time. She definitely wasn't at the end because there was blood on the door. Yeah. She had blood on her face, and the car was crashed, and she didn't crash the car. It was the dude.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the more you think about it, the more questions you have, which I know that's what he was intending, but it's just like...
But like, when you have something that leaves so many more questions than answers, it should have been written a lot
And watch
tighter.
you smile at the end when she noticed her friend was pregnant. Shouldn't she have known that already?
Well, I mean, she just...
Well, she hasn't seen her in forever.
Yeah.
And she just never mentioned it. Also, the husband comes back and like they have a very short conversation, then just ends. And we don't know what happens to him.
After all those births, it shows the husband, and then...
Yeah, the feet come out of the mouth. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
Is it because he fell down?
Who knows?
Why?
Well, and she was like, what do you want from me? And all that he said was your love or something like that.
And she said, yeah, sure, or whatever. And she like smiled like she was denying him that.
Well, yeah, she didn't really say, and then they just left it at that. And
like it showed the title at the end of the movie, and then there was like still a minute of footage.
Yeah.
So was that like supposed to be an after credit thing? Like what? What is this movie?
And the credits had like no sound until like much.
And there was
later
just
on,
like
right?
bland
halfway
white
through.
text.
Yeah.
Like they ran out of budget.
Well, obviously it was probably intentional, but
I mean, it was probably intentional. It was just like a lot of weird choices and a lot of like, I don't even know if they made sense of it, and they just threw stuff at the screen and were like, it's up for interpretation.
I mean, it definitely seems like there's intention behind it, but it's so hard to pinpoint. Like even like, and I really have no idea. I wasn't expecting it to be so open ended to like the point where it's like, I'm just so confused. Like I was that confused, and that's what really held it back for me because.
I mean, like Annihilation had a bunch of open-ended stuff, but it was still like a story.
Well, at least you could definitely
Had a beginning,
see,
middle, and end.
You can see what the point was, not just the message, but what the point was. And with this movie, like you can see a message, but what's the point? You know what I mean? And I
It's
still
not really saying anything new.
I really enjoyed it on a lot of aspects, and I think that it probably could have used a little bit more running time.
It was only
more
like an
fleshed
hour,
out.
or like
It was like an hour 40. Yeah.
yeah, like with credits, it was probably like only a little over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But it felt really long.
Right. It felt really short to me.
I don't know if it was just the beginning that felt really long to me, but it definitely felt longer than the runtime.
Yeah. To me, it felt pretty short. It felt like it pretty much flew by. I thought it could have used a little bit more time to be a little bit more fleshed out, because there was a lot. It's a very condensed plot, and there is a lot, but it all is kind of. It's a lot of small things, so it doesn't feel so heavy.
It's a very contained story, which I know is intentional. There was even like when he was touring the whole house. I don't know, for some reason reminded me of The Shining when they toured the hotel.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was some other Shining references. Well, I guess the walls were red, but which was also a weird choice. I never see red walls like that.
A lot of the interactions and dialogue were really odd. I actually enjoyed the dialogue, but a lot of it, like
It's not like it was bad acting. It's like intentionally like weird.
Yeah. Which I really enjoyed a lot of that. See, there's a lot to it that I enjoyed. It's just like
I don't know if I ever want to watch it again. Really,
the overall purpose of it was so like I don't know.
I don't agree with any of you say this is like terrible or great. It's just kind of.
I mean,
very weird.
The rating I gave it was a 6 out of 10 because there were a lot of aspects that were really well done.
It's probably a 6. Yeah.
A lot of things about it were really well done.
If you don't like it, though, I understand completely.
Oh yeah, I totally.
And if you love it, I can see why you would, but I would question why exactly you love it. So.
Yeah. It's like, it's such an open, odd, ambiguous movie, and like that isn't really a problem. But like,
I don't want the next film
really
this guy makes to be like this.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's gonna make.
And like I said, if those ideals weren't presented in such a pretentious way at the end, it kind of defeats the whole purpose and flips it back on himself. So, if it could have been much more like genuine and more like subtly nuanced into everything, then I think I would have liked it a lot more. But like it was just kind of there, and it was kind of at you, and then that's just it. So, I don't know. It's such an odd movie. I wasn't expecting it to be so weird. Like I obviously knew it was gonna be somewhat weird, but that was crazy.
Yeah, I had some tense moments. I wasn't particularly scared though.
Really?
I mean, some of the stuff was horrific, but it didn't like terrify me.
Well, I don't really get scared, but I definitely had in general. But I could acknowledge why it was scary. It had a really good eerie feeling to it. I felt.
I mean, a few of the scares got me, but I wasn't like Allie. Did you say Trinity was pretty scared?
Yeah, she was terrified.
Why is she saying she wasn't? Did she like the movie? I'm confused.
I don't know. I can't really tell with her. She gives like movies that she says she likes a 5, and she said that this one was around a 5, but like she said it in like a weird tone. So I don't know.
Well, I don't really expect it. We should have took Sean.
I know. I would have loved to have heard Sean's thoughts on this movie. Sean?
Are you sleeping?
Back vagina.
Yeah, there's that.
He told.
Yeah, we described the ending to him
Well, like,
just to see his
like,
reaction.
the back, like the neck.
But then like there was other parts where they just showed like full on vagina shots and like the baby coming out, but it was like a full grown human. And then the person died, and then that person was pregnant again. They're like, "Why are you doing this to me?" And then they give birth again.
They're all bloody.
But like the woman was just standing there like, "I did none of this to you. I'm just here."
And she was just watching all of it. It was weird.
She didn't like react much. I think just to start point, she was just like so in
that's the
shock.
thing, like, and then not only that, but it would have been a lot better if
Just the protagonist wasn't that good.
Harper as a character
It wasn't very proactive.
See, because all she was the trauma that she went through and her memories and how it formed.
I didn't know
her.
anything else about her.
She didn't actually have a character beyond that. So, like...
Which just feels like it just doesn't really help the point of the movie.
Which just feels so hollow. Like, what's the point?
So is she overcoming it by the end?
And then,
like,
especially toward the end of the film, she felt like more of a vessel to, like, see what the message is instead of her actually learning it herself as well. So...
I didn't care about her husband either because they didn't give him any... I didn't care about their relationship.
Like, it seemed like
I was curious on why she wanted to divorce him so bad.
Right.
And he mentioned something about a church, so I don't... Does the church have to deal with why... Like, how's he coming back?
So
and was that him coming back or, like, the demon or whatever?
I have no idea.
And was it a demon? Or was it... Was it a ritualistic thing? Well... It doesn't explain anything. You could have added, like, 3 or 4 scenes to just help lay out the story a bit better. And it would have been, like,
at least maybe some more... Because there were some good, like, little details I noticed about.
Like, the whole church part.
Maybe some more things that were given earlier on to give more of a hint as to what we're actually dealing with, I think would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
See, there's just a lot of missed opportunities. It's a painfully okay movie to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was enjoyable to watch, I guess, because I didn't really predict anything that was going on.
Yeah, I definitely had no idea.
The trailers really focused in on the whole same face thing, like the guy with the same face, but I don't feel like that was as much as the focus, because she also didn't react.
I didn't even notice that in the trailer.
She didn't react to it at all.
Well, like, yeah,
or question it.
Literally, like, the kid had, like, a grown-up face when it was a kid.
And he had that woman mask for some reason, and then there was, like, a dead bird, and whatever the dead deer was supposed to mean, was that supposed to mean, like, death and rebirth, but it just seemed so randomly put in the middle.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was so odd.
I was like, why?
What happened?
This movie felt like a drug trip or something.
It's either a 5 or a 6, because I enjoyed a lot of it, but, like, what?
It's literally a what the fuck movie. Yeah. I feel like that's what he wanted you to say at the end. It's like, yeah, there's messages, but I just want you to be, like, fucking confused as shit. Which, you know, like, I guess he did good there. But I will not be buying this on Steelbook. Did you get your Batman Steelbook?
I got mine. My house, yeah.
It's up there. Next to my Joker one. It's pretty good. I quite like it.
Yeah, I'd have to go to my dad's house. I'm sure it's there. I got a message that it was delivered. So. And it's Sean though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably a 6.
Yeah.
I feel like a 7's way too high, and I feel like a 5 is kind of mean. So...
It's just so odd. It's really hard to grasp, for sure.
Definitely disappointment. But it's also better than I thought it would be in some ways.
Yeah, I didn't really have high expectations, so like
I just was hoping for like something maybe as good as Annihilation, or just like unique, and like it was unique, but it was just like really weird.
It was certainly unique, but was it unique for the right reasons? That's definitely the thing you gotta worry about.
Because I guess like a similar body horror movie is the thing, which that one doesn't like overly explain the alien or even tell you. You don't even know what's going on in the ending, like if it's actually dead or not. But it explains enough. And this one just doesn't explain anything.
Yeah.
But I guess they're also two very different movies. But I believe The Thing was a heavy inspiration for this movie for sure.
Yeah.
Especially in the ending.
Yeah.
Which, like, the Thing stuff, it felt like it was, like, them showing off their effects and, like, the horror of the creature. And this one just felt like, at a certain point, it just got gratuitous. Because you really need to show, like, 4 or 5 birds in a row.
Yeah, like, what was,
like, when it happened, like, once, I was like, holy shit. And then it happened again. And it's just like, why? I get it. And then, like, 3 more times it happened. And then it ended, and I was just like, how am I supposed to go home? Because we, like, our group that we saw with, we barely said anything when we went out of the movie. And, like, we just kind of, like, left and went home. And just, like, nobody said anything the rest of the night.
Yeah, because it was so off-putting. It was so unsettling. Just, like literally. Like, we were all, like, completely, like, speechless. I'm not usually speechless after movies, but that, like...
And, like, I watched some videos just to see if I can understand it more, and pretty much everybody else was just, like...
Like, later on in the night, I was even like, I don't even know, like, what did I just watch? Like, what did I watch?
Was it even about men? It's more about the woman. So if they make a woman film, it's going to be about the men. It feels like the overall message is, like, about women's, like, power over man, or, like, how men constantly try to get women's, like, approval or something. Or is it about like abuse? Is it about like trauma? Is it about
It's
like?
definitely part of it, but I don't even know.
And then like he just hit her once apparently, so it's like, why do you want to divorce her? There's no history of abuse. Is she actually terrible? Is she just Jasmine? Because then like she literally said like kill yourself, I don't care. She seemed like kind of an asshole, as well.
Well.
Then who was her friend? What was the point of her?
That specific moment was obviously in like a very emotional moment because she
I
just
know.
got struck. It's like that's not like.
I wouldn't blame the suicide on her fault, but the movie like so like tries to like hammer in that it is at least indirectly her fault, which is just a terrible message.
I think it's supposed to be just that she blames herself for it.
Yeah.
And like that's the perspective that we have, so that's how it's supposed to look, I believe.
Just feels like if they're being serious about that message, it's very damaging to like tell people that like you should be with somebody even if they tell you like they're gonna kill themselves. Like, that's just like not a good relationship.
Well, I don't know if like I don't know. I don't know what.
I don't know exactly what. I would be very interested in the director actually saying what he was meaning.
I think it's implied the entire time that the relationship should not be one because, like.
Yeah, but then like the whole movie, they're trying to make her feel bad for ending it.
Which that's why she goes out there so that she can heal and like she can feel better for that. But then.
It just becomes more trauma.
There's just more trauma with like her trying to do so. So I don't know.
And then, yeah. And then she makes some kind of dumb character choices. Like she hits one of the dudes, which at this point she should know that is not the person. And she just stops her car and goes out to check on him instead of just continuing to drive.
Well, yeah, she didn't go out, but I think she was just kind of like shocked, so she stopped.
Yeah, but like once he came to the car, I would just fucking drive off because then he's clearly fine.
Yeah.
Also, it got there really fast.
Missed them all though. Who
Like
got really fast?
The thing, that creature or whatever, it just like got like she was like driving like full speed like for like 2 minutes and it was just like in front of her car. Did it run? Can it teleport? Like what?
Well, I don't even know if it is like a creature. It's probably.
Is it a figment of her imagination? Because it's not supposed to. Definitely, it's not implied.
No, it definitely all happened.
And where'd it go at the end?
So what do you think? You didn't watch it, you fucking idiot.
And where'd it go at the end? Like, it's just like there's no resolution. Like, did she had the axe? Did she kill it? I'm assuming she killed it. So if you cut off its head, does it stop?
I don't know. I'm in a mindset that I don't even think it's like a being. I think it's like a religious like ideal probably.
Yeah, but she was like really cutting it up.
It probably only persists as much as her mind, and the trauma she's been through like actually brings it around. Probably.
It's like that shit in fucking the original Nightmare on Elm Street where it's like if you don't believe him anymore, he just disappears.
Sure.
But that was stupid. Because the next movie they just retconned that.
Well.
Yeah.
I don't know what we watched then.
I mean, I guess it was worth seeing. I don't know if it was worth $20 and like $20 in concessions. I'd much rather just watch this at home.
Yeah, that icy was definitely worth it.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was a good icy. Popcorn was okay too.
Yeah, popcorn was fun.
There was like people that sat next to you and they looked like they were biker people.
I know, they seemed like.
I was like, these don't seem like the general audience that would see this.
Yeah,
There was like 2 women behind us. There was like more women in the theater than men. It upset me. This movie belongs to us.
No, it doesn't.
I don't want it to.
It's clearly a gender-oriented film.
Has stuff to say. I just don't know how necessary it was to be said in this way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so odd. I don't know. Just watch it, I guess. Check it out.
It's interesting.
If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
So one of a lifetime movie.
Yeah.
Nothing like it out right now.
That's for sure.
I'd rather the better A24 film to see is probably Everything Everywhere at All at Once though. Probably. Definitely.
It's way better.
That one they're coming out soon with the Shell.
Oh yeah, Marcel the Shell was shoes on.
It's like shot cool, but like I don't know why it needs to be a movie. And it's like a feel good story. I was like, I want the fucking horror trauma.
What?
I want to see the fucking guy that made Hereditary. His next movie sounds interesting.
Ari Aster?
Disappointment Boulevard thing with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to come out this year. Apparently it's like 4 hours long, and he's like, it's finished, but the studio is like telling me I need to cut some stuff off.
Yeah.
But I want to release it as is.
Oh, yeah. That happens.
Yeah. I'm just texting you.
No, but Disappointment Boulevard. 210 minutes.
How long is that?
That's like almost 4 hours. It might be more than 4 hours, actually.
He's like, I want to just. He's like, it's finished.
Okay, it's 3.5 hours. That's like.
That's fine. I can sit through that.
It's not bad, but.
I watched the Snyder Cut.
Joaquin Phoenix.
And I don't, is it a horror? I don't think it is.
I have no idea.
Maybe slight. Sounds different than what he's recently done.
I mean, yeah, it says it's a comedy horror film.
Yeah, which those are hard to
Stars
do.
Joaquin Phoenix, Nathan Lane, Amy Ryan. Not a bad cast. Ari Aster is the writer, director, and producer like he was with his previous 2 hit films. So he said his next film would be a 4-hour-long nightmare comedy.
Sounds like it's gonna be like an existential horror movie. You're supposed to like and laugh along the way. Will it be better than Joker?
I don't know. It is supposed to release this year though, so I guess
That's hype.
we'll see.
I'll definitely see that one.
I'm excited to see it. I like what he's done so far. Hereditary and Midsommar are both really good. So.
I haven't seen Midsommar.
Wow.
I know it's not better than Hereditary.
Some people like it is.
It didn't look like it was from the trailer, but I don't know. It seemed kind of weird, which Hereditary is weird, but it was a bit more, like the general plot was a bit more standard.
I think Hereditary is near perfect and Midsommar is really, really good. So.
Yeah, I don't have much to complain about Hereditary. Yeah.
But,
Next week, I mean, did you like the new Thor trailer?
Yeah.
I thought it was quite good.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Better than that first trailer.
First look at Christian Bale as Gordon.
I think he's going to be really good.
He looks really exciting.
I don't know much about Gore from the comics, but he sounds like a very cool character.
I actually also don't know very much about that character.
He's kind of newish as well, in the last 10 years, I think.
Yeah, I don't know much about him.
I know people were complaining that it wasn't comic accurate, but, like, it's Christian Bale. You got to show that face.
Yeah, it was
like
Christian
acting.
Bale. Yeah.
I think he's going to be great. Apparently the God Butcher.
Zeus or something.
Yeah, his name's the
Zeus is in it,
fucking...
is it?
No, Zeus is in it by Russell Crowe. And then...
Fighting round the world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that we watched that episode, too. I didn't know he did that. Did he actually... Does he beat people up in real life?
I don't know. I think that was just the thing that he was like a tough guy in movies, so they made fun of him. It's South Park, you know.
You remember that movie, The Nice Guys?
The Nice Guys?
Yeah, with fucking Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe.
Oh, yeah.
By Shane Black. That movie was really good. But, like, nobody saw it. I guess it wasn't like a masterpiece, but like, it was really good for what it was.
It was actually a really good movie.
I quite enjoyed it. And they wanted to do a sequel, but that just made no money. I saw that fucking Jordan Hernandez.
Of all the people.
And we went in to see it, and they're like, it's rated R, so we had to make my dad go, and he just didn't want to go. But he's like, at the end, he's like, I'm actually really glad you guys forced me to go to this. And then he was just an alcoholic.
I remember seeing that with my dad as well. It's actually pretty good.
It's a good movie. Sean will enjoy it. Except he doesn't enjoy anything.
Sick.
Yeah.
It was the same director as Iron Man 3.
I don't mind Iron Man 3.
I don't mind you.
And next week, talk about probably Jurassic Park. The series.
Oh, yeah.
For Dominion. But we're not seeing Dominion until this day, so we have 2 weeks. Maybe we won't have one. Maybe 1 week we won't have an episode. Unless we have something to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know if we have much to talk about as far as like.
Maybe we'll take a break next week and then talk about Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that could be fair.
And then talk about Dominion the week after. Which we're both super excited.
Sure.
You not at all?
Sure.
The original cast, though.
Oh, dude, I'm so hyped.
Sean's gonna go with this.
No, I'm excited. It'll be cool to see a summer blockbuster, you know. It'll be cool.
Early reviews so far are saying it's better than the last 2 Jurassic Worlds. So
I hope so.
I think they said it's either like the second best or third best.
I guess we'll see. I mean, I have decent hopes. I mean, I'm sure it won't be that bad. So.
Sean hates movies, bro.
It's true.
I obviously hate movies so much, that's why I'm going to one.
Facts.
Yeah, but that's probably about all we have to talk about. Unless there's something else.
This is a bit of a shorter one. We don't really have any other topics that are relevant right now. It's kind of men is just kind of. There's not much more in depth that we could go, to be honest. So.
Honestly, like we're watching it in real time.
Yeah, I mean, I would say definitely check it out. It's really odd, and if you don't like it, do not like. Obviously, like that's. I definitely get it because it is tough to grasp, but it is kind of worth it. I think. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, decent, I guess.
Same.
So yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe.
No.
Okay. Well, you do you.
If you don't like and comment, I will make you change it to a woman and give birth.
What if they are already a woman?
They're enough pain.